So I'm a former journalist and occasional songwriter. Some of you know that I do that occasionally as well. And so I work from a script. So here it is. I think you all know that there is a teleprompter up there we've been reading from. I'm going to just go right from this right here. For this 5-minute talk, let's get right to what has worked for this guy anyway for the last several decades with this intangible, at least for me, my sets of Robert's rules of relationships. So number one, you've got to like the people. As CEO, elected, or executive officer. As Linus said in the Peanuts cartoon, I love mankind, it's people I can't stand. Well, especially with an individually based organization. We're not a company-based organization, we're an individually based organization as we have. A professional society like this, like the Realtor Association, we have to like and we have to care for the individuals. Our members will sense that as they learn to trust us or not. My tips for relating with all types are these. A, get to know them. Establishing trust, and how many times have we heard trust at this session, huh? Is the number one goal for me with relationships. Trust that I care, trust that I know what I'm talking about with my experience, trust that I'm on their side, the side of the members. B, walk with your eyes up and with a smile. And in this email, cell phone world, a lot of times that doesn't happen. But when I walk around at meetings and in the office, and I recommend this to you as well, I'm always scanning to build relationships, even if briefly. Nothing builds a relationship like a smile, actually looking at people, facing them in conversation, using their all-important names and getting their titles correct, even answering the phone with a smile. Remember Vernice's comment earlier? What energy do you bring or take out when you walk into a meeting? So I got a little visual here. Just think about how much effort it takes in your organization. Well, you can see how well I did. To blow up this balloon and how easy it is to pop it. You need to be an inflator. You need to be someone who inflates the organization, who gets the organization going and humming. And be careful of those pins that happen sometime in the organization. So you diffuse anger. As angry volume increases, yours should decrease. One of my first experiences with relationships in my career was working for my father's restaurant. I was 14 years old. I was a waiter, and it was late at night because he had a diner, and the bars would empty into my father's restaurant. And here's this 14-year-old guy, and my dad came up to me and said, Rob, that guy over there is drunk, and he's loud, and you need to calm him down. You need to bounce him. I said, I'm 14 years old, Dad. What do you think? I'm going to get killed over here. And he said, here's what you ought to do. As his voice is very loud right now, yours goes down. You go up to his ear, and you whisper in him, and I guarantee you everything will be great. And I went over, and I whispered in his ear, waiting for... And it didn't happen, and he got up, and he walked out, and I said, aha, that works. And that's what I try to do. What you want to do is you want to speak evenly and with confidence, and always try to prepare for contingencies as much as you can. Control the communications. I'm sure most of us who have gone through leadership programs have heard and thought about Jack Welch, CEO for General Electric. One of the first things he did was control communications at GE. I want all of our communication vehicles to establish relationships rather than just conveying information. What sort of relationship does your office convey? Your professional staff and your leadership style convey? To paraphrase Maya Angelou, they may forget what you said or did, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. Our front desk person at NAR, Katie, is our key member service liaison. I hired her with that in mind. I've had some past presidents tell me that they like to come into my office, our office, just because it makes them feel better. And I'm not kidding about that. People have said that to us. It just makes you feel better. And you know those organizations. You know when you visited other members' offices, you see that feeling that you get. And in your own state association, your own local association, and in your office, how it makes people feel. And develop protocols for your association speakers and vendors that match your culture. Provide them with a list of do's and don'ts in addressing your members? How do you pronounce realtor? What issues really bug your members? Do off-color jokes work at your conventions and your meetings? Hopefully you can avoid that sort of damage control by planning for that up front. Pay special attention to social media protocols. As we've all seen, Facebook, Twitter, Snapface can be a blessing or a curse to a relationship. Discuss social media protocols, at least within your volunteer leadership and your staff professionals. And about email, once you exchange email more than twice, it's time to pick up the phone and chat personally. Keep association communications above the fray. We remind my staff, that every member is important, but no member is more important. No one member is more important. Our staff knows that supporting one's committee is key, but taking individual member sides is not. Resist the temptation of engaging in the juicy chit-chat that sometimes happens out there that many try to engage you in. Again, it's about trust. What goes around comes around. Build your base of support, especially for challenging times. Many past presidents remain very close friends of mine to this day, and I already know that President Rita over there and I are already building a working relationship and a working friendship based on the trust and caring. And build your relationship with your fellow presidents and AEs within the organization and networking outside. Yours is the class of 2018, so own it. And remember, some of our best and most productive one-on-one relationships should be with NAR's terrific volunteer leadership and professional staff. Become Facebook friends, but more so reach out one-on-one. You just got the invitation earlier today from Dale and others. Reach out. Manage expectations. Each year I provide 2 documents to my incoming president and president-elect. One is a month-by-month timeline, so they know what to expect each month, because guess what? They have to be successful in the real estate business and have to know what's coming with the association. The other is something I call a president's preferences checklist, and completing that checklist allows our professional staff to know how the elected leader wants to respond to the media, answer emails, and those kinds of things, attending local events, any of that, responding to member complaints. At least have that conversation. So if you don't have the list, at least maybe at these meetings, have that conversation about what the expectations are between the two of you. AEs never forget that it's the members' clubhouse. It's easy for some AEs to forget that the association really belongs to the members, not me. As long as it comports with our strategic plan, our budget, our policies, and our procedures, and it's legal, it's the volunteer leaders as a whole and not as individuals, the membership, who set the direction and make the key decisions. Presidents, never forget that while you need to be successful in the real estate business to direct and guide the association appropriately, your AE and staff are association management professionals. We got into this on purpose, and we've done a lot of education. A lot of us have advanced degrees in exactly this field of professional management, association management, to drive the association along the organization's strategic plan. So in sum, what all of this relation stuff I think boils down to is developing trust. The word you've heard so often at these sessions so far. You cannot have a good relationship without trust. Again, everything you do and say should convey the fact that you can be trusted to care for the livelihood of members as we collectively serve as elected and hired executive officers, their business and their professional success. Your leadership credo should be, in you we trust. I hope all this helps. Thanks.